thank you for joining us here today, and we are very excited to have you. If you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, Ananta Hemp Works, its vision, and the value that you are trying to deliver.
Yeah, pleasure is mine, Yogesh. Thanks for having me over here. Going back into Ananta's journey, me and Abhinav, who's my other co-founder, he's also a childhood friend. We guys go back to almost fifth standard together. We live together. We've grown up in the same colony, and we've been working together for the last 20-25 years. And we have worked in the real estate and the construction industry, and then we have worked in the distribution industry, and then we finally decided to go into this hemp industry. So a little bit of background on that. Abhinav actually is suffering from a disease called AS, ankylosing spondylitis, which he discovered in 2007, and it's an autoimmune disease which has affected almost every part of his body, and pain management was one of the biggest issues with him. And I've seen him suffering since 2007, 2008 till almost 2017, 2018, where he was on super painkillers, and he was popping pills like candies, and still he was not able to manage his pain much. So in 2017, one of his friends or his cousin, I don't remember, but he got him a full spectrum oil from US. And he said, you try this, a plant-based alternative, why don't you try this? So once he tried that in just one bottle and using it for 7-8 days, I think it was the first period of 10 days where he had not used a painkiller in the last 10 years, 12 years. So he was surprised and he was shocked, and me too. And when he came and discussed this is where the journey began actually. We started researching about this medicine, and we started researching about its future in India. This was around the same time when Uttarakhand, took out its policy for hemp cultivation in India, and that's where we started our research. 17, 18, we kept on researching. We kept on figuring out the legalities and how we can do this or how we can't do this. We knew there were some players in the market in 2018, 19 like Bohiko and some other of them, and that is where we started to figure out how we can do these products. And we looked into Ayurveda, and we looked into the legalities of it, and finally by 2020 we incorporated our company, and 2021 in March end or April we were able to come out with our first nutritional range of products, and by May 2021 we were able to do the cosmetic line and the Ayurvedic medicine line, which is our main business. And yes, so that's the history of Ananta till now. And our vision, as far as our vision is concerned, we guys are totally focused in increasing this hemp based medicine line, and our idea is to bring and widen the scope of these hemp medicines to the Ayurvedic doctors, give them this arsenal of medicine in their armory, because this medicine was not available to them about 2 years back, and it's something which is a very, very powerful medicine. And once they understand how it can be used and how it can be delivered to the right customers, I think it can do wonders to the patients. And there are so many indications in this country where this medicine can really do wonders. So that's the vision. Our vision is also to connect with doctors. We are focused to connect the company with the doctor clinics. We have more than about 40-45 clinic partners now. Our vision is to get to about 500 clinics this year and about 2,000-2,500 clinics next year. And the idea is to give the medicine to these doctors so that they can give it to the right patient. And that's the complete focus, and that's the complete vision of this company.
That's such a great value proposition, Vikram. Thanks for sharing such a personal story, firstly. And I see how such a personal experience of the founders has led to the formation of a brand, and you're trying to revolutionize the use of hemp-based products in India, and this intersection between Ayurveda and hemp-based. So, although Ayurveda may go back thousands of years, I think in the last century we lost its use, and you've taken up the reign to get it back on. So kudos to that, and we are happy to hear the story. Thanks for sharing it. A little bit, I see you mentioned cosmetic products and nutrition. If you can delve a little deeper into what kind of products have you introduced in the market, and how do you see the Indian consumer reacting to those?
So we have basically 4 main lines of products. First is the nutritional product, which comes out of the seed of this plant. Now, the seed of the hemp plant is actually one of the most nutritious items available on the face of this earth actually. If you go into the energy charts of the hemp seed, you will realize that the amount of omegas, vitamins, fiber, magnesium and other kind of stuff which is available in this seed it is a superfood category. And we have compared the seeds to a lot of other stuff like flax seeds, chia seeds, this seed, that seed, and the energy charts are way beyond in this seed. It's a common food item in places like Uttarakhand, where this plant is found in the backyard, and generations of humans are used to making chutneys of this seed or having these seeds raw by just roasting them. And the nutritional value of this seed is already being used in this country. It's just that it wasn't commercialized. So anything coming out of the seed of this plant actually is a nutritional item. So we have a nutrition line in which we are doing a hemp seed oil, a hemp seed powder, and hemp hearts. Hemp hearts are shelled hemp seeds. So this is the main nutrition line. And now that the seeds have been approved by the FSSAI of India, and they have accepted the seed as a food item, I think there will be a whole array of food items and nutrition item coming into the market, from hemp flour to milk to protein bars, immunity bars. You will find hemp dosas, idlis, anything you can imagine. You can add the hemp nutrition to it. So that's hemp nutrition. Then coming to the cosmetic side, it's a general cosmetic. We don't claim it under Ayurveda, though we have used a lot of Ayurvedic ingredients in our cosmetics, including the hemp seed oil, which is also a topical oil and very good for your skin. It has anti-inflammation properties, it has omega, so it's damn good for your skin. So we infuse that to give it a USP of hemp cosmetics. And we have about 7 SKUs in that, like body butters and face serum, face wash, soaps and shampoo bars. So that's the cosmetic line, and it's also like a crowd puller for us. And that is something which anybody, any age can use. Even the nutrition, any age can use. But cosmetic is something which gives us a wider audience sometimes in terms of acceptance. Then coming to the main line, which is our Ayurvedic medicine line, which is the main focus of our company and the main vision of our company. In this, we have 2 types of medicines. One is oral and topical items, like muscle and joint pain oil or a balm, and skin protect, coconut based oils. So these are the topical items which do not require a prescription, and it can be used for stuff like psoriasis, dermatitis, skin rashes, inflammation, in fact rashes, normal rashes which you have, dryness, and these kind of things can be used on that. Balms and all can be used for stuff like migraine and headaches, cough and cold, and all these things. Coming to then the other side are the ingestibles, in which we have 2 types of delivery system, in which we have, one is the tincture format, which is the oil, which is a sublingual application. So you take the drops and you put it under your tongue and let the cannabinoids go through the receptors into your body. It's a very highly effective and a higher bioavailability of this medicine than anything which is consumed or like digested. But then we also have capsules and tablets, because some people are a little uncomfortable and dosage can be a little bit of problem while taking the sublingual tinctures. So we have come out with targeted mgs capsules and classical formulations like Trilokia Vijayavati, which comes in a form of tablet. So we have these kind of delivery systems, and this is the medicine. So this comprises, we have almost about 15-16 kind of items in this, and we are trying to create a whole bouquet in this medicinal item side, in which a doctor does not have to go further. Anything regarding hemp in different potencies for different ailments and different delivery type of systems. So we want to have a whole bouquet in which we can offer to the doctor, and the doctor is doesn't have to go anywhere. We've also introduced for an external application, we've also introduced roll-ons, which has a very high effective this thing, no wastage is there. So we have a cramp reliever roll-on, which is used from menstrual cramps to neck cramps and everything, and then a muscle and joint pain roll-on. So we are concentrating on the product also, and we're also trying to innovate the delivery system of the product, so that the efficacy is the highest and there's no wastage. Then we also have on the 4th side, we have a pet line, in which we have introduced the hemp seed oil and also a product with the hemp extract, the leaf extract, for external application of the pets. We have a very good response. We have hospitals like Max Vets and CGS and other pet stores which are using our product. And hemp seed oil, like how it works on humans, it works on any mammal basically. And dogs have a very similar endocannabinoid system like we have. So if you give them the hemp seed oil for nutritional value, it has a great result. If you apply them on the skin, it has a great result. So this line is, people are getting more and more aware. In cities like Delhi, Bombay, where people are more aware about these international products, or Western influence is a little higher, you can say, their awareness and acceptance is also higher. So people are getting there, and we are also spending a lot of effort and a lot of time and a lot of money in terms of the education of this industry and making sure that the awareness goes out to the right places in the right time to the right people. So these are the 4 main lines which we are working on, and we are in the process of introducing newer and newer products for different ailments. And very soon we're going to be coming out with a raw extract, which is used for palliative care patients in cancer or people who require really high dosages of this medicine. So yes, that's about our product line, and this is the way we want to go forward.
I mean, such a wide range of products and such unparalleled focus on, I should say, not just the wellness industry, it's how you are concerned about the well-being. So we see this conversion in the whole industry.
The idea is not to sell it to a certain segment, Yogesh. The idea is to bring this medicine into the mainstream line. It's like how you find a crocin or a paracetamol or a cough syrup in everybody's house. The idea is to break that taboo and and get this medicine into the mainstream line and make it available as something which can be a daily part of your life. So that's the idea. Nutrition. I want to see my hemp hearts or my hemp seed powder in every kitchen. I also want to see like at least a soap or a face wash or some serum used by a lady in the house. And when you require a medicine, I hope nobody requires medications for their illness, but when you require it, it's available. And the topical application is generally available for people, the old age people who have muscle and joint pains and everything, and they're using deep heat sprays, which actually has a negative effect later on, when you use it for a longer period of time. So shifting over to a plant-based medicine when an alternative is available, I think it's a great option. So that's it's a big part of our vision. Yeah.
That's great to hear. And just speaking of the taboo, as you said, now I understand that from Ayurveda laws that are established in our country, Vijaya extract is the name of the extract that gets mixed with different products. Can you elaborate a little bit on that and how that is mixed with the products to deliver the value, and what is the process that you follow?
Sure. So we'll go back to basics. Okay, so Ayurveda is the Indian older science of medicine, and in Ayurveda there are five plants which are mentioned as the most sacred plants. So one is sandalwood, one is jasmine, one is neem, one is tulsi. Now these 4 we know about, and everybody uses them for medical purposes, for purification, for pujas, for you consider these plants to be sacred plants. But nobody talks about the 5th plant, and the 5th plant is actually the Vijaya plant, which is the hemp plant. Now this plant is not talked about because in 1985 we banned this plant under the category of marijuana when marijuana was banned. So all the species of these plants were banned, and the taboo of marijuana started growing from there. And people consider hemp to be marijuana, though they are a part of the same family, but it's a cousin brother species of the marijuana plant. It looks completely different, and it has different application. It has a different level of cannabinoids in it. So the hemp plant was always allowed in the system of Ayurveda. Even the leaf, the products which come out of the leaf, the products which come out of the seed and the leaf has been kept out of the purview of the NDPS Act for this purpose only. Seed was anyways not a part of the NDPS Act, but the leaf has been kept out because it's been used by the Veds and the scriptures, and the Ayurveda scriptures. There are almost about 190 formulations of hemp which have been written. So before this medicine was technically available in the market, the Veds used to source this from wherever they could, and they used to use their purification processes, get them into dried formats, make their medicine and give it to people. But then because of the banning of this plant, the scarcity started happening and the access stopped happening. And now this plant is not even taught to an Ayurvedic doctor which comes out from a graduation degree or who does his MD. This chapter, this section is not there only. Though it's a part of that. If the doctor wants to learn about this, there are books on it. But it's not a part of the regular teaching in the college.
Is it like, I think the hemp-based products, so these are not psychotropic in nature? That would be correct to say, right? We are talking.
No, that is incorrect. That is incorrect. So what you are talking about is the industrial hemp variety, which Uttarakhand has allowed to be cultivated, which is supposed to have 0.03% less THC in it. Now the problem is that seed indigenously is not available in India. If you're going to go into different states, the seed which is found in India does not have this level of THC. That THC levels are only found in genetically modified seeds. And Uttarakhand actually what it did was it just copy pasted the Canadian policy. Now there the research is happening for the last 20 years. These guys have developed strains with different levels, 0 THC, minus THC, 0.3 THC. We have just copied a policy, but we haven't realized that the seed is not available in India. And you cannot import seeds into India for cultivation purposes. You can do it for R&D purposes, and there's some special circumstances in which you can do it, but it is generally not allowed to import seeds and cultivate. And even if you import seed and cultivate that seed in India, the region, the sunlight, the altitude, the soil, everything is different. The result is going to be completely different when it comes to India. So the medicines which we make for Ayurveda consider this plant to be as one single active compound. It does not differentiate between, it does not allow us to actually isolate the compounds from the extract of the leaf. When you extract the compounds from a leaf, you almost get about 113 plus cannabinoids, plus there are flavonoids in it, plus there are terpenes in it, and plus there are a lot of other things in it. So that is one single active compound for Ayurveda. The moment I extract THC out of it, it goes out of the purview of Ayurveda. So Ayurveda advocates it like one single active compound, which also gives the effect which we call the entourage effect, and it advocates that because in Ayurveda we believe that when you give this extract as a wholesome extract to somebody, and then the way it interacts with your endocannabinoid system, then there is a holistic level of healing. And you cannot discount that. So the Westerns, and when you talk about CBD, when you talk about THC, and the CBD fad has been going on, and we have heard CBD, and everybody calls this oil CBD oil also because that's the general name given to it. But CBD oil is actually a isolate oil which only has CBD. Now in US, in Canada, and all these places, all these things are regularized. They can isolate compounds, they can play with ratios, they can give you isolates, but we are not allowed to do that over here. And frankly, in Ayurveda, we don't want to do that over here because, we believe in that holistic level of healing in that. So this is why the relationship with the Ayurvedic doctor becomes very, very important with the patient, because when he's dealing with the insomnia patient, or if he's dealing with a arthritis patient, or if he's dealing with a patient who's got diabetes, who's got neuropathic pain, or he's dealing with a palliative care cancer patient. We have a lot of MND patients. So every patient has a different requirement. What kind of potency should be given to him. It should it should be given in the morning, or morning, afternoon, or afternoon, evening, or just before sleeping. That potency. So that kind of a level of understanding is very important. And that is why we are spending so much of time with the doctors and also educating the doctors on this matter, because most of the doctors who we get in touch with have not really used this medicine. They don't understand the proprietary medicine, they don't understand sublingual tinctures, they don't understand dosages. So one of our other efforts which has been going on, which is our marketing effort, is actually to create this whole education level and literature, education, information, and that's when Dr. Piyush Jineja also comes into play with us. He's a medical advisor. We've been holding very regular CMEs with him and getting the doctors around training.
But is this, can we elaborate a little bit more about these Ananta Sambhasha?
Oh yeah, I was coming to that.
Symposium that you're doing, right?
Yes.
So tell us more about that.
So Ananta Sambhasha started as a CME program where we invite the doctors and we talk about cannabis, we talk about the medical cannabis, we talk about our products, we talk about the knowledge gap the doctors have, and we try to cover that knowledge gap. So then after that, and we have done a lot of physical CMEs in Delhi, in Lucknow, in other cities. Also, we've done a lot of online CMEs. Now the target for the last 6 months, what we are trying to do is that, once we tell the doctor that, okay, this is how you can establish a cannabis practice in your existing practice. This is how you can incorporate cannabis in this. And when the doctor understands that, then we have dedicated sessions, which we have had with Piyush ji, and which are still continuing on. In fact, I have one today at 3 o'clock, after this. We deep dive into indications like, insomnia in cannabis, or diabetes in cannabis, or pain in cannabis, contraindication in cannabis, hemp seed oil in Ayurveda in cannabis. So the idea of creating this session, then they're all available on YouTube. If a doctor watches them by one, session 1 to session 8, 9, 10, it's like a mini course. and the doctor will 80%, 85% will be ready and will understand how to deal with this medicine, how to dose it, how to give it, in what proportion and not. And then when the doctor has some final questions left and everything, we hold a personal session with them, and we clear those doubts. We have also developed stuff like a dosage calculator. So that dosage calculator is a place where you can go, you select your medicine, you select the patient age, name, his weight, and what indication does it have, and you press enter. It will give you a general reference that okay, this is what you can start with. It should not be taken as as the final diagnosis and final dosage. The doctor plays a lot of role in that, but for a doctor to understand how this medicine plays, we are developing these things. We're coming out with an application right now only for doctors, in which they can do their ordering and all is one thing, that's easy for me, but then all the CMEs will be lined up, all live sessions will be there, the dosage calculators will be there. So it's a one-stop shop for them as far as Ananta is concerned, and they can do everything on that. So the focus completely, Yogesh, right now is on doctors, and doctors is the backbone. Ayurveda, doctors are the backbones, and this is the way to go forward. For our medicine, it's all about the doctors. So we are just concentrating on them, for them, and we are trying to develop tools and things which is going to make this practice at a much easier level for them. And that's the idea, and Ananta Bhasha is a big part of it.
No, I mean that's very inspiring to know, Vikram, because I see here that you are not just identified a problem which you are catering to. You're also creating and finding people who are going through this problem and finding them and finding the solution and reaching out to them through your doctor network.
The industry has grown at a very rapid pace. This industry was nowhere in 2017, 2018 also. Then 2019, 2020, a lot of people, a lot of companies identified this industry, and then we saw in 2020 there were a rush of companies which came into India. It's got a great future because the problem it's dealing with, it's very big. Plus the application of this plant just does not limit to the medical side. It has applications from paper to concrete to biofuels to huge. So the moment we are able to handle the challenge of the cultivation in this country properly, and we have the supply chain sorted as far as the plant is concerned, because right now we are dependent on the plants, we are dependent on the people who have legal licenses of hemp growing, which you call the bhang people who are growing this plant, plus the forest collection of this plant from all of this country. This plant grows like wildfire everywhere. So there is enough supply, but there is not a consistent supply right now. Companies like us to grow, and companies like for concrete and biofuels and plastic to grow, the farming of this plant needs to be very, very clear, and it needs to be on a mass scale. So that's one of the bigger challenges we are facing right now, and for that also we have also formed an association in the industry, which is a national level association, and all the compliant companies are a part of it. And one of the main agendas we're going to be taking up with the government is the cultivation in different states. Personally, also at a personal level, we are working with a couple of state governments to do our advocacy and try to prove to them that how beneficial this plant is in terms of farming, and actually it is. If you look at it from a farmer's perspective also, or a company perspective also, the farmer also ends up 2.5 times better by growing this plant. Every part of this plant is sold. There's less than 1% of biomass wastage in this. It re-nourishes the oil. It is a carbon negative plant. I can go on that. It takes 1/4 water than cotton, no pesticides, no herbicides. So this plant is amazing, and the farming needs to be sorted. And once that is sorted, I think which I think we are very, very fast. We're moving towards that direction. I think once that is sorted, you'll see a lot of industries coming up, and in 5 years this should be, I can't put a number to it, but it should be a huge number. It will be an industry everybody will know about. It will be something as common as in food. It will be something as common as any seeds which you buy in the market, or any superfoods which you buy in the market. If it goes into fabrics and all that, yeah, it's a better fabric than cotton. So I hope that comes in. People are already doing some fabric work, but right now they're importing the yarn from outside countries because cultivation is not there. So I hope to see this industry move into this direction, and that's one request to the government also, that they should look into the farming very, very positively, because it has a huge economic benefit. The day that is sorted, I think the industry will come into its right strength. But till then also the industry is growing very fast. The medicinal application is a very, very important application. We can get rid of opioids, we can get rid of a lot of other medicines which we take on a daily basis, which are not very good for us in long run. And we have a plant-based option available. And now the Western countries are also, doing a lot of research, and we are getting those results, and we know it's there. So I think it's about time when the government is going to wake up, and they won't be able to ignore this industry at all. Because of economics and because of the industry in itself. So I think we should get there very soon. We should be there very soon.